妻の愛した村を守っているだけだ。
Stop another time.
Really? Ew.
Yo, welcome in, friends, homies. It's your girl, Yogi, and we're back today with episode 16 of Frieren. In the last episode, I absolutely loved everything about the last episode. It was great. It was, yeah. Us getting to see our new priests, a little bit of his fight, the punch he packs, and then seeing him trust Frieren's words, waking her up for 5 seconds and believing that she would indeed defeat this curse that they've stumbled upon in this village. Just the connection, the reference back to the past once again, and him remembering what Heater, I can never say his name, said before. It was just, I loved it. And I think I love him even more because, like I said, he reminds me of the healer from Solo Leveling and like his book. And he was like, and I was like, oh, it hurts my heart so much, but I love it. I love him now. Like, I'm growing attached. I also really love that we got to the village and we were introduced to the whole curses, and we got a little bit of a better understanding for our priest and the fact that they are able to use the magic from the goddess because of the blessing from the goddess. So the goddess isn't like a real person, right? It's just a figurative thing that they believe in, correct? Yes. Yeah. Right? Because Frieren doesn't believe in them or in the goddess. She's like, no, I've lived for centuries. I don't believe in her. But they do. And they have scriptures, and that's what allows them to use that magic. Yeah. And they're born with the knack for it. Yeah. That, pretty sure they said that. So they're like resistant to the curses and they can combat the curses as well. So I really like the rundown. I hope all my notes were right. Anyways, we had all that. I think I've made sense of it, at least most of it for the most part. And then we had Stark literally being paid to fill the shoes of a lost son from a family that came from his same village, looked just like his dad. He looked just like, honestly, Stark didn't even look like the son. The son looked like Stark's brother is how I felt anyways. I don't know. Someone tell me if I'm like, anyone else feel that way? Because that's kind of what it felt like. But regardless, he replaced the son. And it felt kind of symbolic, right? Like he's always struggled with living up to others' expectations. And then he gets asked to be someone he's not and trick everyone. And it's like, he's still trying to figure out himself. And maybe that's kind of the point, because I feel like it showed him a different look at what his past, like things that he overlooked as a child. He was his eyes were open to it now. And now I think he's able to maybe take this experience and move forward and kind of use that to see who he actually wants to become. See what he's capable of. Like, I hope that makes sense. It made sense in my head. I think it's just time for Stark to figure out who he is and learn more about himself. And I think he's doing just that in this experience. Helped him along the way. And then we had him. And we had Stark and Fern and their beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dance. and they were all close and lovey-dovey, and that scene in itself. I feel like every scene from the last episode was just cherry on top. Like, it was just so good. And now we are moving on. I don't really know where the story's taking us, but I am ready. And I cannot wait to find out what the next adventure is. So let's get started. If you guys are enjoying the reactions and you haven't been totally confused by everything that I've said, make sure you subscribe, drop a like, leave a comment down below. How did you guys feel about Stark's whole deal of replacing the kid? Was it right? And was it right of the father to even ask and like to fake that? I know he did it like for his son, but gosh, I know that it was for like the people and their, you know, keep the spirits high, but it's like you just lied to everyone. I don't know. I feel like that could come back to bite you in the butt. But what do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. And without further ado, let's get started. Aww. Don't worry, you can come take a photo. Gosh darn. Start of our legend. Oh, stop. Two young boys with big dreams. A little locket. Oh. Look at him reminiscing. Stop.
400年近く村を守ってきたドワーフだからね。ドワーフの寿命ってどのくらいでしたっけ
？300年くらいだな。
Oh, they live pretty long too then. A long-lived friend. There's the title.
シャレになってねえぞそれ。
でも確かにフリーレン様と昔の話ができるような人ってなかなかいませんからね。たまにはこんな寄り道があってもいいかもしれません。
Aww.
1週間までですよ。
When we she's like, okay, don't get ahead of yourself, okay? Calm down. Oh, there's our gentleman after his etiquette classes.
歴戦の老戦士って感じでかっこいいでしょ。
老戦士ってレベルか？
Way beyond old. This is how I felt when we saw him Mel. All old and small.
歓迎する。ゆっくりしていってくれ。
待って。
Wait, what about her companions?
歩けない。
I can't walk.
シュタルク、ついでに稽古つけてもらいな。
Training! Oh, Stark's just being put through it.
薪はこちらのを使ってください。
ねえ、10年泊まりたいから仕事紹介して。フリーレン様、1週間までですよ。
Thank goodness. I was like, man, she's being very persistent in the whole decade thing. I want a garden. And that would be such a lovely little thing to be able to do. What a hack.
フォルジーさんに友人がいたとはな。あんなに楽しそうに話しているのは初めて見たよ。猛録したじいさんだ。普段は会話すらままならない。
Was it a promise he made?
人間は成長が早いな。そこそこ良くなった。
そう。楽しい時間だったよ。フォルジーは私がヒンメルたちを知る機会をくれたから。
Look at her thanking him for her past. Oh.
人はどうでもいいことに命をかけない。
わしは妻の愛した村を守っているだけだ。人間だった。わし
Stop
は遠
another
い昔に
time.
交わした約束を。
でもきっとその人はあなたが約束を守ってくれていることを。
お前はいい勇者だ。
Oh my
きっと
goodness.
魔王を打ち倒すだろう。魔王が撃たれた平和な時代が訪れるのを その勇者の顔は覚えているか？
Of course she does. Of course she does. And his voice. Of course she does.
オレオールを目指しているよ。
それはどこだ？
円で魔王城がある場所だよ。
そうか。ついに魔王を倒しに行くのか。
Is he actually senile?
魔王はもう
It's already gone.
どうした？
ホルジーの記憶も私が未来に連れて行ってあげるからね。
Aw, does she know his time is coming?
人生の最後にお前に会えてよかった。
それ80年前も同じこと言っていたよ。
Part of the thing, and I say I hate, but I don't actually hate it, about this show is some of these scenes have me thinking so much that I almost don't know how to feel, and it makes me feel like Frieren. Like unable to determine my own feelings about the situations that they're giving me, and I'm just like, why do I feel like I'm in her shoes? And I'm just sitting here crying, and I'm just like, oh man, they just make it hurt.
フリーレン。妻の夢を見た。
そう。
He remembers her?
俺の旅の目的覚えているだろ？
Find his friend.
年上の色っぽいお姉さんと旅をすることだっけ？
昔村に来た魔法使いに取ってもらったんだ。
足取りはつかめているの？
Oh, was it taken by magic?
よく目撃情報が残っているな。
名前が特徴的だからな。インパクトが強い。
Okay, what's the name? Give it to us. Wait, what?
本名は？
Okay, thank goodness.
本名？
本当に親友だったのかよ。
昔から村のみんなも戦士ゴリラって呼んでたしな。あ、というかあいつがそう呼ばせていた。
どういう状況なの？
Okay, but what's his real name?
どちらにせよ戦士ゴリラって名前だけ分かれば十分だ。
Not gonna lie, I read that as goat, not goatee.
変なやつだな。
ああ、変なやつなんだ。
I really hope we get to meet this friend. And I hope he joins the party.
本当に長い道のりでしたね。なんで私を見るの？
Yeah, it didn't even stay for a century.
高台に住んでいる頑固ばあさんと仲が良かっ
Of
た
course,
よう
it's
な
an
の
old
で
woman. Were they both into older ladies?
またすげえあだ名だ。
Quite the nickname.
わしは頑
I'm a stubborn old woman, you see? Oh boy.
お使いみたいな人助けは日常茶飯事だったよ。こういうのが面倒な探し物や厄介な魔物退治に発展していくんだよね。
That does sound like it might be something in their future now. Is it a mimic? Aw. I wanted to see Frieren get stuck. Oh, they're stealing eggs!
さすが頑固ばあさんなだけあるな。
ごめんね。ヒンメルやハイターだったら半日くらいで打ち解けているはずなのに。このパーティー不器用な人しかいませんから、ね。
Socially awkward members.
あ？
最後だ。峡谷にある英雄の像を磨くんだ。
Which hero statue?
はるか昔に世界を救ったとされる英雄様の石像だ。
Is Frieren gonna be one of the statues?
忘れられた英雄か。
ところであんた、僧侶あごひげだろ？
She knows who he is! The friend must have talked about him, shown her pictures, huh?
なんだかザイン様とゴリラ様に似ていますね。というか戦士の方、見覚えがあるね。あ、クラフト。
That's craft! I was just about to say. I had a mouthful of water, I couldn't say it. When they started saying it looked like them, I was like, no. No, that looks like the elf. He found a new partner.
こっちは。
そうね、知らない。
Oh wait, no, maybe not.
そうか。
That was wrong of me. That was probably really, really long ago since Kraft is an elf.
村長によると大昔の英雄だって話だ。 でも誰も名前すら覚えちゃいね。
That does look like the priest, though.
戦士ゴリラ。
That's my name, and that's how he got the name. Oh my gosh.
忘れられない英雄を目指すなら名前のインパクトは大事だろ。
確かにそうですね。
He's like, but I don't have one. So who's that
や
one
っ
then?
と終わった。大変だったぜ。
銅像だったら魔法でなんとかなったのに。
ゴリラにも同じことを頼んだが、あいつはここまでうまくはできなかった。
あいつは戦いしか取り柄がない。
でも名前のインパクトはバッチリだったよ。一緒にずっと歴史に名を残すような英雄になるってね。
I wonder if he knew, if he anticipated the priest ever trying to find him.
ゴリラの行き先わかった？
テューは
Trading city in the middle of northern lands.
オイサーストとは反対方向だね。
Oh, does that mean that this is where he's separating from them? We barely even got to know him, though.
どうしたもんかね。
Or is he gonna stick with the party? Is this where he decides? Oh my god! They would end it right there. Every episode, I'm just like, that was a great episode. Wow. Just wow. Every time. Every freaking time. I think that it was quite amazing that this whole episode kind of went back. This whole episode went full circle with the fact that through time, people will forget. People will be forgotten. Like, no matter what, like, things fade. Like, we got to visit Frieren's old friend who was a dwarf and lived for 300 plus years. And he was protecting this town all for his deceased wife because she loved it. And guess what? He's forgotten her face and her voice. I'm just like, that one hurt because it's like there was that, and then it was to the statues and how no matter what your name, no matter what you do, in time things fade. He even said, even Himmel being the greatest hero and defeating the Demon King, like, people will forget. And they just tied that whole thought into this entire episode, and I'm just like, and then of course we have Himmel being like, well, it's up to Frieren then to bring us into the future, to take us with her through time. And it's like, and now I'm wondering, like, is she going to forget? Like, at what point do their faces start to fade? Oh my god, I don't know why I'm crying. See, I don't feel like I should be this emotional, but I'm sad about the fact that they just keep pushing this whole time factor. And I mean, I even think about it as like being a person and having animals, you know, and it's like, animals aren't gonna be here forever, and that sucks. And that's the only relation I can make to Frieren and her whole time and people passing away while she's still traveling the world doing her stuff. And it's just like, oh, that pain. And now I've got in the back of my head, like, when does she start forgetting? Will she forget? Are the statues going to help her remember? I mean, even Himmel said that he was like, I'm gonna make all these statues because you need to remember that we were real. We're not just some fairy tale. We were here with you. We were your friends. And that's the only, like, that's her last thing that she'll have to remember them by. I'm like, if there's anyone that's going to remember, it's going to be Frieren, right? I'm like, she wouldn't forget. But part of me is like, time is a thing. And with enough of it. And then we get our cliffhanger, of course. Not only was this a sad of everyone being forgotten through time. But then we get at the end our priest, who I think has grown very fond of this party he's traveling with, having to decide whether to go in pretty much the opposite direction to go find his friend, or to go with this party and continue their adventure that they're on. Like, I don't see, I'm 95% sure he's going to stick with this party. I think it's where his heart is at right now. And I feel like he's started this journey with them now. And it's kind of like he's realized that he's part of this party and he's grown to trust them and lean on them a little. And he hasn't seen his friend in 10 years. So it's like, what's another few years? I don't know. Well, here I am too. What's another few years? I mean, oh God, I don't know. I guess we'll find out in the next episode. I'm just, this episode was a lot to take in. I'm having a hard time. I'm trying my best though. That little old man. And I don't know if part of it too that made me sad is every time that I looked at him, he was all short and had his little beard and he was all like, it kept making me think of him when we got to see him as an old man. And I was just like, anyways, if you guys are enjoying the reactions, please consider subscribing, drop a like, leave a comment, tell me how you guys felt about Frieren and her interaction with her old friend, how you guys felt about the statues and the kids making up names that people would remember throughout time. And I guess I'll catch you guys in the next episode and figure out what the priest decides. Until next time, you guys. Bye!